Okay, so you're an older real estate agent and you finally decide that you want to get serious about your video content strategy, meaning you want to use video to grow your business. Now, if that's you, this may be a good video for you, so definitely stick around. Hi there, my name is Eddie Arguelles. I've been a real estate agent, broker, owner, professional in this industry for over 20 years now. I've had the opportunity to wear all the different hats. It's afforded me a wonderful life in order to raise my family and build a career that I'm super proud of. And so now at 50, I'm one of the older set. But because I managed to use video marketing specifically to build my business, it's something that's helped me continue to stay current, and it's something that will help you build your business. So, what I want to make really clear is that although you and I, us older folks, and I always point to my gray hair, is because I've earned it, is that we weren't born with this stuff, right? You may have heard me say that before. The technology that we have now, in order to reach our target audience, reach somebody that would be interested in listening to what we have to say, and in this case, hopefully become a customer of ours to help buy or sell real estate. The way we do it now is very different from the way we did it before. Now, that's not to say that some of the old strategies don't work, but by and large, the industry has changed. There were not as many of us door knocking or dealing with paper advertisements or flyers or things like that. Again, those things are still, they have their place and they can still be effective. But by and large, we've become a society where we are reaching each other on digital platforms, on social media platforms. And so it behooves us to become very proficient at, or at least knowledgeable at, knowing how to communicate via those channels. And so, although we may not have been born with this, in this video, I want to share with you why you really should embrace video marketing and how you can get started in a relatively simple way. Now, before I actually go into the tactics or the equipment and things like that, I want to say something really important, and that is what absolutely distinguishes us from the younger crowd or the younger real estate agents who are natively comfortable with the technology is that something they absolutely don't have that we do is experience. Now, whether you may be older chronologically, but maybe not many years in real estate, and that's okay too. But what I would say is that you still also have vastly more experience, life experience, than the younger set. They just don't. They haven't lived long enough. And it's not a knock on them. It's just we have this deeper well of knowledge and experience and experiences than they do. And so that is really what our valuable asset is. And so when I encourage other professionals to use video to market themselves, to brand themselves, that is absolutely one of the ways that I teach them is to share what they know, because you know a lot more than maybe you even think you do, or that you think other people would care to hear. So why video? Video for two reasons. One is it goes without saying that video is everywhere. This is the way we communicate. I don't care what you're trying to sell. I don't care what you're trying to get across to somebody. The power of this medium right now is incredibly, incredibly powerful. It is greater than anything you can write in an email or send in a postcard. The ability to send this, whether it's to a large group or hopefully a large YouTube audience or a one-on-one, just lands differently. I mean, this is me talking to you. I'm a real person and I have real experiences and I have real knowledge that I can share with you, and it will likely bring you value because it's served me. And the second point I want to make about that is don't take my word for it. We all see it. It's out there. How many successful real estate agents do you know that leverage video all the time? And back in the day, it used to just be using video to video a property, or not even that. It used to be just slideshows, right? There would be professional photography of something, or maybe not even professional, because we've all seen the toilet pictures, but there would be photography and video, but no one was really getting on camera. And this is where it took a turn for me. About 10 years ago, I took a listing and it was a vacant piece of property on the ocean, on a beautiful community here we have called Hutchinson Island. And it was amongst this enclave of homes. And there was about, I think, 40 to be built. And at the time, maybe 30% were built. And so it was dotted with empty lots in between. And they were gorgeous oceanfront homes. And I was the listing agent for one of those vacant properties. And so my goal, of course, in those early days was to create a video that would help me sell that property, right? What I missed, and this is what I want to share with you, and this is the power of video, is that it went well beyond me and the ability to sell that property, which I did. It allowed me to springboard from that one listing to 3 other closed transactions, which I can directly attribute to that one video. It was then that the light bulb went on. And I said to myself, this isn't just about trying to help my clients sell their home. I should be able to leverage this technology, get good at it, and be able to do this again and again and again, and leverage that video so that it produces 3 times the results, right? 3 times the commission, however you want to call it, multiples of just the one. And so when that happened, that was completely the light bulb moment. And that's the moment when I decided that I needed to invest heavily in getting better at video. So now here's the great news. To get started, it's relatively simple. I know that one of the biggest hangups that people have, real estate agents have, people that I've counseled, like right now, for instance, I'm shooting this inside of the Florida podcast studio. This is my business. This is a business that's been born out of my love and interest in video content creation. And so this space here, these 3 studio spaces here, serve a clientele to help them build their strategy. And so, yes, I have a kind of a nice backdrop here, but to be honest, right now, shooting this video and to prove this point is all I'm using is my cell phone camera. So I'm using my camera from my phone, and I'm using a $100 microphone here that's sitting right in front of me just outside the shot, and that's picking up really nice audio. And then the only other light source I have is the one light that's here off to the side. That's it. There's nothing else fancy going on in here. And I would say this is a $100 microphone, and that's an expensive light. I'll give you that because it's a studio light for in this space. But the other lights that I use, you can find them for under $100. So for $200, you've got this with your phone, and you're ready to go. And I would venture to guess that you think it probably looks pretty good and sounds pretty good. So now we've talked about the fact that your experience is really valuable because you're older. We've also talked about the very basic equipment that you need. And now I want to talk about what are we going to say on camera? Well, I gave you an example of me being at a listing, right? And that's a great way to leverage. I would absolutely leverage not only the listings that you currently have to a different degree, and these are videos and topics that we're going to talk about later in the future. And if you have any specific questions about how to shoot those, what to say, please leave them in the comments because I'd love to be able to create videos based on your questions. And then also be able to create content around the neighborhoods that you live in, right? So hopefully by now you're at a place in your career where you've decided to become a specialist in a certain area, or some refer to it as a niche, become specialist in a certain neighborhood, a lifestyle, a price point, a type of building, meaning condos or single family homes. Maybe you're a specialist here in Florida. We have a lot of gated communities. Maybe that's your thing. So the moment you decide on what you're going to become the specialist at is really when things get exciting, because then you can really hone in on the content you're going to create. So what are you going to talk about? Well, once you decide that that's the neighborhood you're going to service, or that's the neighborhood you want to become a specialist in, now you can go down the rabbit hole of everything that a particular customer may want answers to with regard to that particular, again, niche, lifestyle, whatever it is. You become the specialist there. You become the source of information so that when they are searching for that particular lifestyle or property or area or price point, whatever it is, your content's the one that's likely to come up. And that's what makes you a human to them, a real person, an expert, and the one that they're likely going to want to reach out to when they're ready to make a purchase. Once you have the video, then you're going to be wondering, well, what do I do with it? How do I edit it, right? That's a whole other set of skills that you may need to either learn or find someone to help you with. Now, thankfully, nowadays, things have gotten a lot easier. I mean, there's some really robust and sophisticated enough to get started software that you can use on your phone. In particular, I use one called CapCut. I use it on my phone, but I also use it on my laptop, which I'm currently using just to kind of reference my notes back there. It's a really user-friendly way to create or edit videos. And what we've learned here, and I'll give you a little pro tip here, the clients that we're working with here inside the studio that come through, what we've found through our data and our analytics is that the content that is less edited is performing better, especially in this type of environment where you're trying to educate or help or teach. And so I would not, I don't want you to get worried about, boy, Eddie, I just don't know how to edit in those fancy ways and all these kinds of things. I really feel that most of you can learn with a little bit of, 20 hours of time to spend on using the app either on your phone or on your laptop. You're going to get proficient enough to be able to shoot a video and create it and edit it like this. You just have to start. And then, of course, the more you do this, the better you're going to get, right? I really encourage you to practice and practice and practice, whether this is a video that goes out on YouTube or it's a video that you send one-on-one or one-on-one to a particular prospect that you're working with, or someone or all the people in your email newsletter. However you decide to do it, I really would encourage you to get out there, because this is the way that I've built my business. And I know a lot of you understand that video content is not going anywhere. It's a medium that we consume at a really high level. And having this skill set, especially if you have any aspirations to build your real estate business, is going to pay its dividends. All this to say is that you should really be creating content that solves people's problems and helps them accomplish their goals. And obviously that is what we do as real estate agents, and that is the content you should be creating. And if this is a journey you're serious about, creating video, getting better at video, please consider subscribing today, hitting the notification bell so that when I put out new content, you're notified. And definitely leave in the comments any questions you may have specifically about what we talked about today, but also, any questions you may have about how to create videos, because that's my entire goal with this channel, is to be able to share everything that has served me over all these years. And in the meantime, I wish you a wonderful day.